Liza Lou is getting solar. We're getting a Jinko 270 and a Victron charge controller. We know this is an inverter, but we're getting a Victron charge controller. And Eli had said we should do it before, but solar guys always wait till last minute.
There's not much selection when it comes to solar panels in Panama City, but my dad thought this Jinko 270 would do the trick.
The decision to put solar on the Liza Lou was made a bit as an afterthought. Had we not been stuck in Panama waiting for our new multi-function display to arrive, we probably wouldn't have done it, but in hindsight, it is a great way to have some redundancy in our methods of charging the batteries on our boat. We found this system at Casa de Bateria in Panama City. The deal took 2 days to seal, but by the end of the day, we walked away with our new panel. Getting it onto the boat was quite a feat, but due to the fact that Jordan put solar on houses for a living, the install went off without a hitch. This is a good opportunity to show you where our boat is currently anchored at Balboa Yacht Club, right at the entrance to the Panama Canal on the Pacific side. A long walk down the pier and a short water taxi ride bring us to the Liza Lou.
Again, it's a 270 Jinko solar panel, and we got it for less than 50 cents a watt. It's polycrystalline, it's not monocrystalline, and it's a 60 cell module. So it's what we've been installing in New York. It's just a little bit less powerful. We got a Victron charge controller and everything. What was it, 285 bucks for everything with the pre-made MC4 connectors, which is great because I don't have an MC4 crimp tool down here. And we're gonna have to swing the boom out of the way, but we'll see how it handles shading. There's 2 bypass diodes in these modules, so it might do quite well, it might not, I don't know. We'll see how the controller does. All right, that's it. This is our inverter, which inverts from 12 volts DC to 120 AC out. It's just a little 300 watt inverter, but then that way, right now we're plugged into the cigarette lighter. It'll be hardwired on whatever, we'll work it out. I'm just running the DC conductors from the solar panel down through a waterproof gland through the aft berth to the charge controller. Here we are wrestling the DC source circuit conductors through a waterproof gland in the fiberglass hull of the boat to create a watertight seal where they enter the hull.
What is Dad having you do?
So he's having me do 2 things right now.
What did you just drop? You're gonna get in trouble.
I didn't drop anything. Yeah, that was you, Dad. You dropped something. I didn't drop anything. So he's having me hold this. Hold it.
Let go.
Okay. And we're working to thread the wire through to come with this bit of tubing and pipe and wires and.
Look down in here. There's a pathway to get through here.
Yep, I see that.
So I want you to take these 2 wires and snake them. Use your arm and I'll catch them on this side. Short anything out. These are the DC conductors and Eli's We've removed the aft berth, taken it apart so we can run the DC conductors obviously hidden and not surface mount.
So I just put zip ties on these wires so that the wires for the solar panel don't get yanked and broken. Here we are wiring the DC side of the charge controller.
Alright, so that's PV negative and positive. Now we gotta rig up the battery cable. And we're gonna go to negative bus here and there, because even when this is off, that's on. So the solar DC current goes to the charge controller, and out of the charge controller we tie to the batteries with battery terminals, which we saw before I made. They'll go into the charge controller, and then that will bulk charge, float charge, and trickle charge the battery in 3 different stages. It's called bulk, float, and trickle. So let's check the DC output side, because there are load connections on the charge controller. So we're just going to check those real quick.
$12.1, $12.3.
Right, now hold on.
12.
Negative.
Negative 12.0.
It's done. We got solar, man.
Woo!
If we have sunlight, that little light will be yellow. So let's mount it up now. And then finish the wires.
We hardwired the inverter to the load output of the solar charge controller. Now we don't have to use this cigarette lighter. We have solar on our boat, and since my dad is a solar guy, I guess you could say the shoemaker's children have shoes.